Indoor training, even though it's way kinder to your bike than riding through the wet, gritty conditions of winter time, you still need to look after your bike to avoid turning it into a rust bucket. And there's also some things you can do to make your life a little bit easier too. So in this video, I'm going to go through those very things. First things first, sort your surroundings out. Invest in a fan and get yourself a mat. Now, indoor training, it can be a very sweaty business, and investing in a fan is going to help reduce the amount of sweat you make and keep your body cooler, making it more efficient. But even so, if you're anything like me, indoor training is going to be pretty sweaty business. So by having a mat on the floor, you're able to protect your carpet or whatever it is you do your indoor training. Now, you don't have to have an all singing, all dancing fan or mat. Your normal gym mat and a normal desk fan will do just the job, okay? But if you plan on taking your indoor training a bit more seriously, investing in a thicker, more robust mat, and perhaps a more powerful fan, maybe even one with a remote control, or invest in an Alexa plug and turn your fan into voice activated. So yeah, Alexa, turn on the fan. Alexa, subscribe to GCN Tech. Boom. Talking of sweat, your bar tape is going to get pretty gross. All of the sweat going over it, it's going to cause lots of germs to fester and could cause corrosion. So the easiest thing to do, take a dry cloth and wipe your handlebars down after every indoor training session. Now, the majority of the sweat that goes onto your bars is going to be caused from running all the way down your arms. So channel your inner Serena Williams or Andy Murray and just invest in some little sweat bands that can go on your wrist. That's going to help reduce that a lot. I also feel like it's good practice to just replace your bar tape after a winter of indoor training or riding in general, because over time, all of that sweat is going to soak through the bar tape and sit underneath that, causing corrosion not only to the handlebars, but also to the clamp, which goes round the handlebars and holds your levers in place. And that is not something that you want. Next is set up your indoor trainer correctly using the supplied adapters and quick releases that are suitable for your bike. And then follow the actual instructions to set it up and make sure you don't cause any damage to your bike. Pretty groundbreaking stuff. And if you're using a direct drive trainer like this one, where you have to remove the rear wheel, it's important to make sure you set the trainer to the correct wheel size so that the height the rear wheel sits is relative to the front wheel. If you don't do this correctly, your bike is going to be sat at sort of awkward angles and it's going to increase the pressure either on the saddle or on your handlebars. Now, if you're using a wheel-on trainer, it's also important to use the correct axle adapters just as you would for your wheel-off trainer, but also to space the front wheel up the correct amount to match with the height of the rear wheel. Now also, if you're using a wheel-on trainer, it's important to put the pressure of the roller against the wheel correctly as advised by the instructions. Have it too loose, it's going to slip and cause excessive wear on the tyre. Have it too tight, it's going to cause additional pressure and additional resistance and wear the tyre out even faster. Now, if you plan on taking indoor training pretty seriously and racking up the miles, it's probably worth investing in a budget tyre or an indoor training specific tyre. Oh, I've had to head outside to give you my next bit of advice because this is relevant for everyone who stores their bike and indoor trainer in, say, a garage or a shed where generally it's actually freezing cold. Because if you're someone that then takes your stuff indoors into the warm, ready to do your indoor training, because understandably you don't want to freeze to death outside, then you need to be mindful of condensation. Because taking from the outside in metal components when they're freezing cold is going to cause the warm air on the inside to condense and can be dreadful for causing components to rust way faster than what they would have done otherwise. So if you are someone that does that, you do need to be super mindful of making sure that you wipe your bike down and make sure it's not left in a damp state with all of that condensation all over it, because otherwise, as I said at the start of this video, your bike could turn into a rust bucket. And yeah, for those of you with a keen eye for detail, over my shoulder, it's the Biker Gold Leaf. It lives on, lives to tell another tale. yeah, boy. So those are some of my tips and tricks, or hacks and bodges if you watch the GCN show, to help make indoor cycling that little bit better for you and your bike. Now, if you have any tips of your own, share them with everyone in the comments section down below. And for more videos similar to this one, subscribe to GCN Tech and turn on your notifications. Right, I'm out of it. Go get warm. See ya.